Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Spine Therapy, the lower back segment, part 2. Let's go ahead and get started. Find yourself flat on your back, your feet wide, and your knees together. This is a great position to relieve any tension that you're holding on to in your lower back. I do want to say officially before we get started here, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. Definitely click that subscribe button, like, comment, let me know what you thought of this flow after you finish. Now bring attention to your breath, deep inhales and long exhales. This will be a very slow-paced flow as relieving low back tension takes time and relieving pressure from the lower back. So that's what we're going to get to today. Pull both knees in towards your chest, one hand on each knee as you rock your knees just gently side to side. And find stillness in the center. Pull your forehead up towards your knees. Hold yourself here. You can rock a little left to right if that feels good on your back. And release your head all the way flat down to your mat. Release your knees so that both feet come down. Then cross your left leg over your right and allow your knees to fall over to the right side for a twist. Allow your head to either look straight up or turned opposite your knees to the left. Now that you are here, you can take your left hand and massage the left side of your lower back. Just gently working into any points of tension, using your palm and your fingers to press into those tension points. Release, return to center. Switch the leg that's on top and allow your knees to fall over to the left side, your head to the right. Now it's time to take your right hand and begin massaging the right side of your lower back. This kind of massage is referred to as myofascial release, and I do recommend you using it anytime you're doing deeper stretches or stretching with the goal of relieving tension, using your fingers and your palms to work into those tighter points in your muscles can aid a lot in improving flexibility. Return to center. Unwrap your knees, bring your lower back flat down to the floor, then pull both knees into your chest, extending your feet up towards the sky. If you like here, if this isn't comfortable, you can lay with your feet up against a wall so that it's easier to keep your legs elevated. This does take a lot of hamstring flexibility to be comfortable just laying here. Release. Take your hands to the outsides of your feet. Let your knees come wide into a butterfly variation on your back. You can rock gently left to right if that feels good. So, a lot of lower back tension can stem from tightness in the hips. So, the next posture we're going to take is a happy baby posture, which is a really awesome hip rotator and hip flexor stretch. So take your right hand to the bottom of your right foot. Keep your right leg up and extend your left leg. So now you're opening up your right hip as well as stretching your left hip flexor. And if your left hip flexor is tight, you can use your thumb there to help press onto your hip flexor. And then go ahead and switch sides, left leg up, right leg down. And again, if your right hip flexor is tight, you feel that stretch, use your fingers to press into your hip flexor to help release into the stretch. Gently release. Now time for full happy baby. One hand on the bottom of each foot, drawing your knees down towards the mat on either side. If this is too much flexibility wise, you can take your hands to your shins or the insides of your knees. And gently release. Take your feet wide on your mat. Now allow both knees to fall over to the right side, pressing your hips up at a diagonal so that you feel a stretch in your left hip flexor. Switch sides, pressing your hips up at a diagonal. Feel the stretch in your right hip flexor. Return to center. And either stay with both knees up or for an added quad stretch, lift your hips, bring your right heel underneath your glute, and lower your hips back down to stretch your right quad and hip flexor. Lift your hips now for the other side. Left heel towards your left glute. Lower your hips, stretching your left quad and hip flexor. Release. Bring your hips up into a bridge. You can bring your hands along your low back and gently press your hips down towards the floor. pressing against some pressure points along your lower back. Really gentle here. Remember to breathe and lower your hips all the way down. Drop your knees to touch and open your palms towards the sky. Gently roll over onto one side. As you take your next big breath in, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Thank you all so much for tuning in and following along. Be sure to like and leave a comment if you love the flow. If you have not checked out Spine Therapy Part 1 or the upper back edition of this flow, I will link that on screen and in the bio below. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Namaste.